2 years older than me, and I have been married for 4 years. We don't have any children yet, but we're hoping to have some one day. Although we occasionally fight, we're essentially a happy couple that you could find anywhere. This time, we decided to buy a car. A long-awaited vehicle for personal use. Since we live in a rented apartment, we ended up getting a new car before a new house. I like cars well enough and think I enjoy driving. Right after I got my license, I used to drive my dad's 86 frequently. However, currently, since my workplace is within walking distance, I haven't felt much need for a car as a means of commuting. Harry also bikes to his office, mainly to get some exercise. Still, we've both always dreamed of owning a nice car. We had made discussions. If I get a really nice car, I might try using it for commuting sometimes. It sounds kind of cool. Kind of cool. Well, that's fine. But don't come crying to me if all the weight you lost by biking to work comes back. Don't worry. Driving a car requires focus and burns calories, so I think it'll actually help me lose weight. You and your wild theories. After much discussion, Harry and I decided that, considering the possibility of our family growing in the future, we would buy a brand new 6-seater van. It's obvious, but I was constantly excited about our shiny new car. I thought it might be challenging to get used to at first, but it turns out it's quite maneuverable and easy to drive. I immediately started enjoying my car life, going out for drives on weekends and choosing accessories for the car. True to his word, Harry began using the car for his commute now and then. Got compliments at the office for the car. They said it looks cool, he said proudly. Little did we know that our precious car would become the scene of such a nightmare. Huh? Something feels off. One day, as I was about to get into the driver's seat like usual, I noticed something felt strange inside the car. There was an odd smell. It wasn't the typical new car smell, but rather something more like body odor. While tilting my head, I used a car deodorizer. But since that day, I've noticed the smell seems to come from inside the car whenever I'm aware of it. The scent never completely goes away, and I began to wonder if it might be related to my own body odor or my husband's. I was kind of disappointed. It's a delicate topic, so I couldn't easily bring it up with my husband. When we were together in the car, I casually asked, "Hey, do you smell something odd?" However, my husband cheerfully responded, "Huh? A smell? Not at all. They say it's hard to notice your own body odor." On another day, I discovered a mysterious stain on the still new seats. I have no memory of it. Could it be my husband? I also casually asked him about it. Contrary to when I asked about the smell, he twitched his shoulders and said with a face and voice that clearly knew something, "Huh? I don't know." Way too suspicious. Is it something he feels he needs to hide from me? I was ready to forgive him if he just apologized, but my suspicion towards my husband only deepened. Is he treating the car carelessly when I'm not around? I secretly replaced the car's dashcam with one that has parking surveillance features. Then, I made it always on. In addition, I installed a small camera. At this point, I had to get to the bottom of it. I was going to catch whatever rough handling my husband was doing in clear evidence. However, what the camera captured after a while was shocking. What is this? You're kidding. It showed my husband and an unknown woman in a moment of intimacy. Moreover, both were undressed, engaging in acts too vile to speak of, inside my car. My blood boiled in an instant. I thought about confronting my husband right away but decided to calm down and watch the footage again. If I'm going to get revenge, I'm gonna do it in a big way. My husband and this woman appearing here, I decided to drag them both down to hell. I made up my mind and immediately began to act, pretending not to notice my husband's infidelity on the surface. But every day, looking at my husband's face, laughing carelessly, I lost count of how many times I wanted to punch him. And after all the preparations, the long-awaited day of action arrived. I swiftly got into the car where the two of them were in the midst of their affair and floored the accelerator. starting a hellish drive with the two of them, stunned. No! The screams of my husband and his lover filled the air. Now, let's rewind a bit to the day I became aware of my husband's cheating. The first thing I did was investigate the woman he was having an affair with. A woman I had neither seen nor heard of before. She didn't seem to be a coworker at my husband's company. In fact, she didn't even look like she was part of the workforce. Quite young, she might be a college student. Going after a college student. Honestly, both my husband and this woman disgusted me. I continued to monitor the inside of the car with the dashcam and small camera. From the conversations recorded, it turned out, as expected, that this woman was indeed a college student. Her name is Sarah. Aged 21. She seems to attend a private university near our home. Living alone, with her parents in the neighboring state. Both parents are alive. Honestly, I was almost worried for her, talking so freely about being just an affair partner. Given how freely she talked, she might even be bragging about the affair at college. Hey, doing this kind of stuff in a married couple's car. It's gotta feel thrilling with the sense of immorality, right? Right? Lucky my wife bought a nice car. If you lay the back down like this, we can sleep, see? You're always so impatient. Oblivious to the fact I was listening, they carelessly went on. But really, they're disgustingly gross. That's a parking lot used by all the residents of the apartment. Don't they ever think they might be seen by someone? On a whim, I searched for Sarah's personal information online and quickly found her social media account. Maybe it's what you'd call a private account. According to it, the way she met my husband was through this car. Hey, that's a cool car. Can I take a closer look? Seems like this is her usual way to close the distance and lead things further. Because on her private account, there are hints of her being involved with men other than my husband. The thrill of an affair is just irresistible. Dumb wives don't even notice. Would anyone normally post that much openly on their account? No, it's because they're not normal that they do. Probably no sense of internet literacy. Just plain stupid. Because of this, I naturally stopped driving the car. Mary, you haven't been driving the car much lately, have you? Anything on your mind? Really? Well, I thought I'd move my body and get some exercise instead of just driving all the time. Even such a trivial question from my husband annoyed me. Probably, he's not thinking deeply, like whether his affair has been discovered. Just happy he gets more time to use the car, maybe. My husband, unaware of my icy glare, made a carefree remark about maybe driving the car himself sometime. Given the car was their place for rendezvous, it was inevitable that Harry and Sarah met mostly when I was out for work. Meaning, Harry was skipping work during the day, and Sarah probably wasn't attending her college classes much either. I decided to hire a detective agency. After about a month of gathering evidence of the infidelity, the day of my revenge finally arrived. Harry, I'll be out early this weekend. I'll be back late, so just eat dinner on your own. Oh, really? Are you going with the new one? No, I'll take the old one. Got it. Be careful. Of course, I wasn't really going out. It was a ruse. I pretended to leave but actually hid in the shadows of the garage, waiting for the two of them. Earphones in. I could hear everything inside the car. It's rare for you to want to meet up suddenly. Your wife isn't around today, even though you're off? She suddenly went out. Since I got some free time, I thought I'd meet up with you. Oh, Harry, you are so into me, don't you? Poor wife. That's right. I do, Sarah. See, I even do this. Oh, Harry. Let's take it slow. Seems like they got started right away. Really, they're so active. Or rather, I knew they were loud from watching the recordings, but they're really loud in person. It's a wonder they haven't been caught until now. Maybe they've developed a sense for it from all their sneaking around. All right, let's go. I stood up and walked briskly to my car. Excuse me. I opened the door with a click and quickly got into the driver's seat. I sat down with a thump and the seat cushion absorbed the impact. Huh? What? Who? There were clothes for two thrown on the passenger seat, so I said, getting in the way, and tossed them outside. Then, off we go. I started the engine and floored the accelerator, steering the wheel. The beginning of a hellish drive. What? What's happening? Wait, what? Mary? Still not grasping the situation, completely naked, I told them, well, sorry, but could you fix the seat back up? I'm planning on having more people ride later, but my matter-of-fact words seemed to snap them back to reality even more. Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing all of a sudden? Give me back my clothes. Mary, weren't you supposed to be out? He confronted me. Don't raise your voice too much. What if you distract me? I'm the one holding the steering wheel, which means I'm practically holding their lives in my hands. When I said this threateningly, Sarah gasped. What? Is she, possibly, Harry's wife? That's... Yes, I am Mary, Harry's wife. Nice to meet you, Sarah. Why, how do you know my name? These days, it's easy to find out all that. Your name, age, the university you attend, the address of the apartment you live in alone, that you ordered and ate a hamburger for delivery last night, and even that you have distinctive moles on your stomach and thighs. What? Hey! That's personal information. It's your fault for blabbing personal information where anyone can access it, isn't it? But don't worry, I have no intention of misusing it. What? I remembered I had also thrown their smartphones along with their clothes. If they had their phones, I could tell them to search the account name I was about to mention. Sarah's social media account and the dinner she posted last night, not to mention the slew of risque selfies. Well, we can deal with that later. Hey, where are we heading? Sarah's face clouded over as the scenery outside the car window changed. Naked and with nothing to cover themselves, Harry and Sarah were huddling in a squatting position. Remembering there might be a towel blanket in the car, Harry frantically searched the back. Sharing one towel blanket between them, they looked like they were survivors of a disaster. Isn't this, like, kidnapping? Hey, stop the car. Let us out. I can stop, but you'd be getting out naked in the middle of an unknown city, you know? Look, Mary. If you're mad, I'll apologize, so can we talk? So you're aware you've done something worth being angry about? Well, it's an affair, after all. Of course, I'd be mad. It's only natural, right? And with such an empty-headed fool. I added in my mind. You've done quite a lot in my precious car, it seems. What? Couldn't afford a hotel room? Meeting up in such an obvious place, how thoughtless can you be? The weird smell inside the car was from your body odor and fluids mixed together, wasn't it? I thought my nose would bend from the stench. No wonder the deodorizer couldn't completely eliminate it. If you do it every week in this car, that makes sense. You, acting all high and mighty. But in the end, you didn't notice our relationship. That's right. I noticed about a month ago. Since then, I've been monitoring you with the dashcam and a small recorder. Didn't you realize? What? Recorder? That's... The dashcam shouldn't be working if the engine isn't on. Harry and Sarah stared at the dashcam fixed in front of them. Normally, yes. But there are ways around that. Like adding a parking surveillance feature, always on, you know. You seemed completely at ease, but this past month's rendezvous is all captured on camera. So, relax. Where is there anything to be relaxed about? Camera, you say. Delete it. Right now. No can do. It's important evidence. Look, we're almost at our first destination, so could you fix the seats quickly? What? Destination. Harry looked out the window. Recognizing the familiar scenery, his face turned pale. No, wait, this place is. Here we are. We've arrived. The destination was Harry's family home. In other words, my in-laws. And before the two in the car could react, the car door opened. No! Harry screamed as the person joined us. Entering from Harry's side of the door, my father-in-law. They had a demonic expression, and my mother-in-law, sitting next to me on the passenger seat, had a chilling gaze. Dad, Mom. Why? What? What? Who? Harry's dad and mom. Harry, you've really done something terrible. Really? Now, Mary, please let them out. All right, all right. Off we go. I started the car again. With the two of them frozen in shock, my father-in-law adjusted the seats, and in the second row, 3 people were crammed together, Harry, Sarah, and my father-in-law, in that order. This hellish arrangement. Dad, why? Even in this situation, I admire my husband's audacity to ask. Why, you ask? You big fool. Eek. No! When Mary contacted us, I couldn't believe my ears. I never thought you'd have an affair. That's. My father-in-law, furious, my husband, flustered. And Sarah, trying to be invisible next to them. I had already reported my husband's infidelity to my in-laws. Showing them the video recorded inside the car was worth it because I wanted solid evidence. My in-laws were so shocked they looked like their jaws might drop, then they exploded in anger towards my husband. This guy, how could he? To cheat on Mary, your wife, unbelievable. Yes. How filthy. To think our son would do such a thing, oh, I can't believe it. Father, mother, I plan to divorce Harry. I'm not noble enough to continue our marriage after this. Yes, yes, that's for the best. I'm sorry, Mary, I'm sorry. I agree with the divorce. Just thinking if my husband could do such a thing makes me sick. If there's anything we can do, just say it. We'll help with anything. I feel the same way. Mary, you're not planning to divorce him without any consequences, right? Yes. I'm going to make these two take full responsibility. My in-laws and I were united in spirit on this day. Even in such times, the car moved smoothly. Unable to endure the situation of being incessantly scolded by his parents, Sarah raised her voice. Hey, hey. I'm not involved anymore, right? Let me out. I'm fine with this. I won't let you out. You're needed at the next destination. And you, not involved? Having an affair with a married man? You must be joking? That's. I didn't know. It's not my fault. This man attacked me out of nowhere. Since then, I couldn't resist. I'm a victim. Hey, Sarah, what are you saying? You're the one who seduced me, right? I told you I was married, didn't I? What? You say you're married, but you were all eager to make a move. Don't try to shift the blame. You thought I was seriously into you? That's a joke. An old man like you. What? If I keep quiet and listen, this. Quiet. Both of you, just be quiet. When I calmly spoke up, the two of them immediately fell silent. Who made the first move or whatever, I don't care anymore. We're past that stage. And both of you were excited about this affair, so stop this pathetic arguing. It's really disgusting. I glanced at my mother-in-law sitting in the passenger seat and called out, Mother. Please search the account name I'm about to tell you on your smartphone. Understood. Here you go. First, type in capital letters. As I spelled out the account name, Sarah's complexion gradually faded. Wait, that's... Is this correct? Thank you. Please show that account to the people in the back as well. What's this? It was Sarah's private social media account I had found. Starting with a dumb self-introduction, it was filled with risque selfies and dates with multiple men. Seeing this, Harry's face also changed color. Apparently, he thought he was the only one seeing Sarah. How naive. A little research, and it was all there. Please scroll back a bit on those posts. You'll find posts that seem to be about Harry. My mother-in-law did as told, scrolling through the screen. Is this it? She then presented the found post to my father-in-law and the others. Met in the car again today. Always in the car, doesn't he get tired of it? I'm so nice for seeing him like this. Seems like he drives a pretty nice car, but no money? Spent it all on the car? It's thrilling, but kinda hurts my body. I wish he'd at least pay for a hotel, old man. A stunning array of dumb texts. Shown the account, Harry was trembling. Is this real? It's real. Sarah's genuine account. That's not true. That's not me. It's someone else. A totally unknown person's account. Is that so? Then, how about we compare the risque selfies there with your body? They're quite distinctive, so I think we can easily tell if it's you or someone else. Hush. Sarah's face contorted. Had she finally realized the extent of what she'd been doing? Too late now. Could it be? Sarah, you've been mocking me behind my back. Well, it's true that Harry is stingy. What? Harry's always been my last priority. Excuse me. Sarah raised her voice, perhaps in defiance. And Harry reacted to every word. My father-in-law silently glared at them both. The back seat was indeed a hellish place. We're almost at our next destination. As I said that, everyone reflexively looked outside. Oh. That place. Then, Sarah's complexion turned deathly pale. Hey, wait. This place. No, stop. Let me out. We're not stopping. Here we are, arrival. Please get back in later. We stopped in front of a certain house. I operated the door to open from the driver's seat. No! Sarah screamed. The door opened to reveal Sarah's parents. They were stern-faced to a frightening degree. It's a tight fit, but please, come in. I said, and they nodded politely before getting into the car. Now, there were 7 of us. Why are my dad and mom here? Sarah exclaimed, just like Harry had. Why? Maybe you should use your head a bit? It's obvious because I told them. It seems your daughter is having an affair with my husband. I had sent a certified letter to Sarah's parents' home, investigated by a detective agency, to inform them of the affair and today's plan.
You! What have you done?
Sarah screamed, but it was like water off a duck's back to me.
That's my line. What have you done? No! Dad! An affair! And not just with one man, you've been involved with multiple men. What's with these SNS posts? Posting such pictures, aren't you ashamed?
Oh. Knowing her parents had learned about her private account must have been mortifying. With 2 uproarious families aboard, we stopped at a service area, our final destination. It was the climax. I turned to Harry, smiling sweetly as I handed him the divorce papers. You probably understand by now, but will you divorce me?
Well, Mary. Please, listen to me.
I don't want to hear that kind of response. What I want is a simple yes or no. Then, I took out another document. This is for the payment of damages and the car payment agreement. Sarah, you need to sign this too.
What? Why me too?
Because you knew he was married and still had an affair. You had it coming. I'll be getting damages from both Harry and Sarah. These documents were made with a lawyer, so there shouldn't be any issues.
I can't pay damages. I'm still a college student.
And? You should have thought about that before having an affair with a married man. Work yourself to death. What's this about car payments? I'm charging you that since my car was used for an affair, right? I can't stand using it anymore, it grosses me out. This much money. I can't. You're gonna pay, no matter what. I'll make sure of it, by any means necessary. I stared at Harry and Sarah. They were trembling finally, faced with the reality they were confronted with.
Hey, Dad, Mom. Help me out. Convince Mary Manson, please. Dad, Mom, is this okay? Your daughter is gonna be drowned in debt if this continues. Hurry up and help. Do something about this ridiculous woman.
Both of them were begging their parents for help. However, their parents sharply rejected their pleas.
Don't be ridiculous. Cleaning up the mess you've made is your own responsibility. It's Mary's right to demand compensation. Pay up. won't trouble her any further.
That's right. And stop bothering us. After discussing with your father, we've decided to cut ties with you.
What? No way.
Sarah, you too. This is your responsibility. You made your bed, now lie in it. We're not helping you at all.
No. Dad. Mom.
Sarah, I heard you've hardly been to college, right? Then, there's no need to pay for your tuition anymore. If you have time to meet with men, why don't you just drop out and start working right away? If you don't work, you won't have money, and you can't pay the compensation.
Please. Help me, help me.
Sarah was clinging to her parents, crying. Her face was a mess with tears, snot, and sweat, looking utterly pathetic. Harry, just sign this already. After being rejected by her in-laws, she pushed the divorce papers towards her despondent husband again. Hey, Mary, please, forgive me. Stop crying and hold the pen. She made her pathetic crying husband hold the pen and sign the divorce papers. She also got a signature on a pledge. Sarah, with her messy face, signed under her parents' watchful eyes. All right. You're free to do as you like now. After checking the documents, I quickly got out of the car. Harry and Sarah were left looking dumbfounded with their dirty faces. The parents, understanding the situation, bowed their heads to me as I stepped out of the car. I walked a little through the service area parking lot and tapped on the window of a familiar parked car. Mary. Well done.
Really? Oh, I'm exhausted.
Inside the car, my parents were waiting. I had informed them of the plan in advance and had them wait at the service area. The footage from the other car's camera was also set up to be viewable on my mother's laptop, so my parents had been watching that hell unfold as well. The continuous footage showed Harry and Sarah arguing with their parents and then being scolded again.
Let's go home.
Oh, can we stop by the diner on the way back? I'm hungry. Sure. My dad took the wheel and pressed the accelerator. The culmination of the revenge plan was a family drive, something we hadn't done in a long time. Afterward, Harry and I successfully divorced. As declared, Harry and Sarah were disowned by their parents and are desperately working to pay for the damages and the car. Though we communicate through the lawyer, so far, there have been no delays in payments. I hope everything gets paid off smoothly without any issues. I moved back to my parents' house. With some distance now, I decided to commute to work by train. For a while, I planned to cherish the time with my parents and take it easy.